Hello. Um, I'm going to start doing as your daddy suggested, as Brian suggested, and try to give you some of my memories from long, long ago. um, I'm going to call them snippets, and I'll put the date by them because when I start talking about the long ago, I'll never quite know where I'm going to end up. So I'll call this Snippet on the 1st of November 2020. I think my first memory was when I was about your age, Freya. I was about 3 years old, and I was bridesmaid to a distant cousin. She was called Eleanor, and she was marrying somebody called Bert. And they'd asked me to be bridesmaid. So my grandmother arranged for a dress to be made for me out of seersucker nylon. Nylon was new then. This is 1950. Nylon was new and a very sort of exciting new material, and it was seersucker, so it was sort of bumpy, and it was pale cream. So I don't know why I said all that, but I did. Anyway, we went to the wedding. I can't remember all the details, but what I do remember is myself and the page boy, whose name I can't remember, so I'll just call him the page boy, were in this room which was quite sort of dark wooden panels and dark red covered furniture. And I can see the room in my memory, and I can see the page boy, who was a couple of years older than me, dark hair, a bit taller than me. Anyway, he decided, well, he realised that he desperately needed to go to the toilet for a wee. And he sort of started panicking. So, being me, I just said, "Come on, I'll take you there." And I took him and showed him where the toilet was and left him to it and came away, went back to the room. So that was the first bit of memory. I don't know why I remember that, but that's one of the first things I remember. Anyway, the wedding happened, and I don't remember any of that bit inside the church, and what the bride was wearing and what anybody said. I don't remember any of that. It was too long ago. I was too young. But what I do remember is coming out of the church, and the bride and groom were walking in front, and I was walking behind, holding my cousin's, the bride, my cousin's long train behind her dress, and the page boy walking beside me. And of course, there's people on either side. It was a tarmacked footpath with cherry trees in full blossom all the way down the drive. It was beautiful. I can picture that as well. I can picture the grey church and a straight drive going down to a gate and then the road. And there were people on either side. And as they did then, they were throwing confetti, which is like fancy little bits of paper cut up into little shapes like bells and flowers and stars, I don't know what, horseshoes and things like that. But they were just little soft bits of paper. And they were throwing these at us. Throw, 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 throw. And I didn't like it. And I burst out crying. And I was crying because I was frightened of these people throwing stuff at me and I didn't know what it was. And my grandfather picked me up and held me in his arms. And he gave me a big cuddle. And he put his hand in his pocket and fished out a sugar lump and gave me the sugar lump to eat and hugged me until I stopped crying. And then I went, I don't know, I caught up with them or something. But that's my first memory. And because that memory's stuck in my mind, I can always see the footpath, the church behind us, the cherry trees, my grandfather holding me. And the cherry trees were in full blossom, so it must have been April-ish, March, April, May, I don't know. But they were absolutely full blossom. It was gorgeous. And the cherry tree's been my favourite tree ever since. And you may remember, or you will see next time you come here, that I have a cherry tree in my front garden that I planted when we first moved here, and it is my favourite tree in the world because it reminds me of that happy time with my grandfather comforting me when I was frightened of confetti, frightened of people throwing bits of paper at me because I didn't know what it was. I wouldn't be frightened. I don't think you'd be frightened of that, would you, Freya? But I was. Okay, that's the first one. Bye.